Sunday, January 4th, week 18 in the NFL, the final regular season week in the NFL. And we still have some games that actually mean something. I'm going to break all of that down for you so you know exactly which games matter so that you can have more help when you're placing your bets. And then not only that, we're going to go over some incentives. We're going to build a parlay, nice 7X parlay incentive play for Sunday. Then we're going to go over a 5-man player prop play in the NFL as well, followed by my favorite players to get into the end zone. And on top of all of that, I'm going to give you a long shot sportsbook play of the day, a nice plus 403 on that, where I'm going to put $100 of my own money. And if and when that play hits, one of you are going to get $400 just from watching this video. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're locking in and get ready to go bananas.
Sub to the channel, we drop picks on the daily, dropping knowledge every day, and you don't have to pay me. We just keep stacking wins while the rest moving lazy.
Gang, this video is going to be a little different. We're going to hop right into the Sunday incentive play, the play that I love for these players to cash so they get a little bit more money in their pocket. Now, I know I've already said this in the video somewhere while I was editing it. I couldn't really find it, didn't want to take too much time digging for it. This was a long video, so I'm just going to re-record this portion, dive into this so that YouTube can leave us alone. Gambling involves significant risk. There are no guarantees of profit, and you can lose some or all of your money. The content in this video is for informational, entertainment, and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial or legal advice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We are not responsible for any losses that may occur as a result of using the information provided here. Viewers must be 18 or older or legal age in their jurisdiction to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, please seek help. Gambling resources are down below. 1-800-GAMBLER in the United States. The video contains affiliate links. We receive commission. We'll go over all of that. That's what I got. We'll get back to the regular scheduled program. Pocket for the end of the NFL season here. We got Tony Pollard, 60 rushing yards. He actually needs 66 to get his incentive, but I love him for 60. I do think he'll probably break over that. The Jags, though, this is a meaningful game for them where their seeding matters. It depends on other teams winning and losing as well, but I do think they're going to come out and play at least most of the game. The starters will be there playing full contact. So Tony Pollard, I still like him for that 66, though. I don't think the Titans are going to put up much of a fight, if I'm being honest. The Jaguars are very, very good, but we want Tony Pollard to get his incentive. And it's actually not, I said 6 or 7. There was a lot to say in the beginning. I'm going to be giving you guys so much data, insight, and just real general knowledge of what you need to know on Week 18, right? Because Week 18 in the NFL is very, very hard to gamble if you are not careful. A lot of guys aren't going to be playing. A lot of guys aren't going to be carrying. Teams are out. Teams are in. So there's definitely a lot of moving pieces. We're going to start off with this Sunday lay. I'm going to break down each line. Then we're going to go over the 6-man touchdown lay that I built for you guys as well that I love for Sunday. Then I'm going to be going over all of the 5-player props, and then we're going to roll in. And before we get to the sportsbook play of the day, just for your general knowledge of what you're going to do if you're building your own plays as well, I want to break down what matters for you guys. We'll do it pretty quick, but just to help you guys so you know who's going to be playing at full throttle, who's going to be holding back, and who's going to be sitting all together on Sunday. But we like Tony Pollard. I do think he gets 66 rushing yards. I think he's going to cash this play. I think the Titans don't have much to play for, but they'll still probably get some rushing yards out of him. We like him for 60 in this one against the Jags. And now the Bears, Lions, not much on the table for the Lions, but it's Dan Campbell and the boys. They're pretty banged up. Don't know how much they're going to put up on the field. They're not playing for much. The Bears, a little bit of seeding to contend with in this game of whether if they win versus other teams losing as well. 250 passing yards. We love Caleb to go off against the Lions in a nice divisional matchup, even though it's week 18 and there's not much on the line there. Then we got Hunter Henry here, receptions. Stephon Diggs is still going to be on the field, even with all the controversy that has happened with him choking out his cook for not scrambling his eggs correctly. He'll still be playing. He'll probably see a suspension next year, which is what they typically do, especially if the teams are in playoff contention. I can guarantee you almost if he was on the Miami Dolphins where it meant nothing, he'd probably already get the hammer laid down on him. But they're going to wait, hold off, and they do need to do their criminal investigation. This is not a criminal doc series on YouTube, so we're not going to dive into any of that, but we like Hunter Henry here to get his receptions. I think he's going to have a big game against the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots are still actually playing for the top 2 seed in the NFL. Now they also have to worry about the Broncos, right? And the Broncos are playing the Chargers, and we'll get into all this, but the Chargers aren't going to be playing Justin Herbert, which doesn't really make sense to me. They don't really care, I guess, if they're like the 5 or 6 seed. They're just happy being in. Broncos are playing for the number 1 seed. You'd think they want to play spoiler and knock out their inner division foe and make sure they're not the number 1 seed. But if the Broncos lose, the Patriots could jump them, get the number 1 seed in the AFC. There's a lot of moving pieces. I think Drake May, I think Vrabel, I think all these boys are going to be playing full throttle against the Dolphins. Now, whether or not the Broncos are just blowing out the Chargers and at halftime the Patriots go in and realize this and then pull it back a little bit, I don't know. I'm not a crystal ball, but I still like Hunter Henry in this matchup. I think he's going to have a big game. Tight ends have good success against the Miami Dolphins as well. So we're going to take him here for over 4.5. And then Myles Garrett. I think even at this point, Joe Burrow is probably going to he's probably going to lay down like Brett Favre did for Strahan. Myles Garrett's going to get the sack. We all know it's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to get 2, and this game doesn't mean anything, but Burrow and the boys are still playing for the Bengals. The Cleveland Browns are still going to be rolling out there. Shador should be playing in this game. Myles Garrett obviously is going to be playing in this game. I like him to get 1 sack on Sunday. He was held from that sack last week against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 100 years old, and he didn't want to take a big hit from Garrett. And he also probably didn't. He's a little bit of I like him, but he's a little bit ego kind of guy. And I don't think he wanted his name etched in the record books as the one that Myles Garrett broke the record against. Now, it would have been kind of cool, though, if you think about it, because Brett Favre was the one that Strahan broke the record against. So little starter backup role type of thing. It would have been kind of cool, but he didn't want it, and they didn't get it. Steelers also protect him very, very well. Now, we all know that the Cincinnati Bengals, one of their kryptonites besides defense is the O-line. They've done a pretty good job this year of protecting the quarterback, but I think Myles Garrett gets one. This one is a plus 859. You can lock it in just about anywhere. I will be going over where you can lock in all of these plays for Sunday where you don't have to come out of pocket at all. So you can take a little bit more risk, have a little bit more fun because it's not really any of your own money, and we can try to build up. These plays are a little bit more of long shots than your normal too. Also, elephant, gorilla, whatever, gorilla in the room is the fact that we have not been doing good on the channel. Thank you guys so much for coming back day in and day out. We've been cashing sportsbook plays. Now, obviously on Saturday, the Buccaneers, who actually I had as a 1.5 unit play for premium, did not cover the minus 2.5 because they missed the field goal. The field goal got blocked. And once that happened, I knew the Panthers, who hadn't driven down the field all game, were going to drive down the field, score the touchdown, and cover that the 2.5. They only lost by 2. It just the way it goes sometimes in gambling. Tough beat. We did smash our 3-unit play. Here, we'll just dive into the recap. This is exactly what we did in premium. We did cash our 3-unit max play. We did have the Seahawks minus 2.5. Love them in this spot. 49ers were super banged up. Another thing to note here from yesterday's plays, we had CMC on a lot. And then it came out that CMC and pretty much the whole entire 49ers offense was listed as being of an illness on the injury report. Now, they did end up playing. I don't know how much that illness affected them, but it was definitely something that was very concerning, and I would not have given out those plays had I had that injury report when I made the video. Now, some things happen after the fact. I can't do nothing about that. I just want to apologize for that. The injury report came out late. I wouldn't have put CMC on anything at all, but we did. We loved the Seattle Seahawks. That defense looked elite. Now, the offense might be a cause for concern going forward into the playoffs just because the 49ers, their defense is banged up beyond belief, and the Seahawks offense couldn't really get much going against the 49ers defense. That's got to be a bit of a cause for concern. But with that defense that they have on the Seattle side of the ball, I don't know how much they really have to do on offense. They are absolutely elite. I think they're top 2 in the NFL. I think the Texans are maybe the only defense a little bit better than the Seahawks, but the Seahawks have a super legit defense, as we saw on Saturday, where the 49ers could only muster 3 points, and they still had Kittle and CMC on the field. CMC just couldn't not get going. And then over in the NBA, where we don't have to worry about any of this shenanigans. We won't have to worry about these shenanigans next week in the NFL as well. It's the playoffs. Everything matters. But NBA, things matter right now. We do have to worry about players just deciding to sit out, but we can kind of factor that in, right? Because we get the rosters before we send these plays out to premium. We had the Hornets plus 6.5. I like them to win this game. It's a premium play, though. I liked both of these teams to win these games, but it's premium. I wanted to keep it a little bit safer. I still love the plus money. We got a nice plus 106 win there on a 1-unit play. And then we had the player prop play. Nice little 3-man here over in the NBA. Cashed at a plus 260. Nice 3.5x for any of you guys on the DFS apps. Then we had Arkansas in college basketball. I love them in this matchup versus Tennessee. It was pretty much a blowout all game long. Tennessee just never really got going. The first half, yes, they kept it a little bit close, but then the second half, Arkansas just kind of like pulled away. And even with that score being 75-86, doesn't really do justification as to what we saw on the screen in that matchup. Arkansas played a very, very good game in this matchup, and we love them from the jump. Nice little 1-unit minus 135 action there. And this was actually from Friday night. We had Nebraska. It was a rat line. We love those. If you don't know what they are, get over to premium. I will explain all of that to you. But we love rat lines. They hit at a high rate. It's about 80%, to be honest with you, if not higher. Whenever we see a rat line, we attack it. And we had one on Friday, and we cashed this Nebraska minus 135. Now, we weren't perfect in premium on Saturday. As I was saying, we lost the Buccaneers play. And we also lost Old Dominion in college basketball, coming off of 8 losses versus a team that was pretty hot, Georgia Southern, and they were actually the favorites. It was like a rat line, for instance, and they did not get it done. So like I said, they hit it about an 80% clip, but they're not perfect. Nothing isn't gambling, but that's about as good as you can get if you want to be profitable long-term in your gambling endeavors. And that just didn't come to fruition on Saturday. So those were the 2 losses. Everything else, a couple player props in the NFL, like I said, CMC, but everything else looked magnificent in premium. We had another profitable day in premium. And has my apology to all of you out there for not hitting pretty much all week. It feels like I'm ice cold on the videos, and I apologize. So I want to put some money into your guys' pockets. Go over to winible.com/ape. Go visit my buddy Stan down below. He'll hook you up with everything you need. You can get over to Winible. You can use code ICE on the day pass, and you can get premium on Sunday on me for absolutely free, just because I haven't been providing you guys with bangers like we are accustomed to on the channel. So it's my way of apologizing, I guess you could say. These are free plays, so I don't know how much apologizing I need to do, but we definitely put a lot of time and effort into these videos, into these plays for you guys to be successful in your endeavors against the sports books, because it really is us versus them. So like I said, just to kind of make up for it, use code ICE, get a free day of premium, come cash with us. We're pretty much profitable almost, if not always, on premium. With that being said, since I said some key words that YouTube's probably not going to like, and I'm running the risk here of getting shut down, gambling involves significant risk. There's no guarantees of profit, and you could lose some or all of your money. The content in this video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only, and does not constitute financial or legal advice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We are not responsible for any losses that may occur as a result of using the information provided here. Viewers must be 18 or older or legal age in their jurisdiction to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, please seek help. Responsible gambling resources are down below, to include 1-800-GAMBLER in the United States. This video does contain affiliate links. I'll be going over them. You can get free money, free deposit matches. I do get a commission. It's a great way to support the channel. And when you sign up using any of my codes, you get a free 30 days of premium plays per sign up. So you can get about 6 months for free, where you don't have to come out of pocket at all. That'll get you past the Super Bowl, past March Madness. It's going to be amazing. The start of MLB, which might be my best sport. I don't know. We had tremendous success last year in the MLB. We had tremendous success in the UFC. It's coming around. We're going to have tremendous success for the NFL playoffs. So if you want to not buy your way into premium, go on ahead, sign up for any of those apps using my code, and you will get literally money to lock in for free. It barely costs you anything at all, if not nothing at all, and you can have a great time. Now, before we get into where to lock these plays in and where you can get all that free money, I do want to go and touch on the touchdown plays that I absolutely love. Now, we're taking a bit of a chance here, plus 4266. I had a little 30% parlay boost, so I couldn't throw a ton of money on this play because it wouldn't let me. I locked it in again without that boost. But if you have this or DFS app, you can lock these in with boosts or whatnot, whatever you feel and see fit. Now, one thing I do want to point out that some of these are plus money. I wouldn't mind you taking them straight up by themselves. This is obviously a 6-man. It's obviously going to be a little bit risky, but I love these plays. I love these players, rather, to get into the end zone on Sunday. Normally, I give you one, then you have to go to Winible to get all of them. This is all 6. Everything's laid out today for you guys just because it's week 18 in the NFL. This is going to be one of the biggest videos of the entire NFL season, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, Jacksonville versus Tennessee. Jacksonville has some seeding issues. They're working out. They want to win this game. They're going to be trying to win this game. Tennessee, we all know they're not any good. That we think they're going to keep it on the ground an awful lot in Jacksonville, especially during that garbage time. And we love Travis Etienne Jr. to get into the end zone on Sunday. It's a minus 235, not worth taking straight up. You compare it together. You can slam all these together at a lower unit size, but we like Travis Etienne Jr. here. Losing my breath, guys. All right, here we go. Bijan Robinson. We like Bijan Robinson also in this Atlanta-New Orleans game. Now, they could be playing, spoiler, this one could be a good one. New Orleans doesn't have a lot of their good players on the field, though. Chris Olave is out with a blood clot in his lung, so he won't be suiting up. Tyler Shuck has been playing amazing, though. He's getting the boys up and ready to go week in and week out. But Atlanta's got a pretty good defense. They got a pretty good team, and I think they're going to be going all out in here to knock the Buccaneers out of the playoffs. We'll get into all of that in a moment, but we like Bijan. I think he's going to have a monster game. He had one last week. He's the focal point of this offense. Don't be surprised if he rips off 200 all-purpose yards and gets into the end zone a couple times. We're going to take him for one here on this 6-man, and then we got Hunter Henry. We already know he's playing for incentives. We already know the Patriots want to get a top seed in the AFC. They're going against a Miami Dolphins team who has nothing to play for. Quinn Ewers is going to be behind center. Not going to be much going on there. The Patriots, they're also at home. I just think Mike Vrabel, the boys, they're going to be coming together. And I like Hunter Henry, the big tight end, to get into the end zone. Speaking of tight ends, I am known for being the tight end guy. I loved Cade Otton. I went up to him on my sports book. I saw first touchdown. I didn't take it. I don't know what it was. Something was telling me to take it, and I didn't. I'm like, no, there's no way. And then, of course, he scored the first touchdown, which doesn't that happen? It always happens after the fact, though. You're watching the game. You're like, motherfucker, I was going to do that too. But anyway, going on, moving on. RJ Harvey, Denver Broncos. We are in a little bit of shock here that the Chargers are just resting guys. I get that they're banged up. It's probably the smart move. Harbaugh knows what he's doing. But just the fact that Denver, it feels like, is just going to walk into the number 1 seed is crazy. And we think RJ Harvey's going to walk right into the end zone because of it. So we're taking RJ Harvey here to score a touchdown. Then we got Colston Loveland, a tight end again, who I absolutely love. This rookie has been sensational. Since about the mid-mark in the season, he has been playing phenomenal. Caleb loves to hit him, and I think he's going to find him. And Loveland's probably going to break a tackler or two like he always does and finds his way into the end zone against the Detroit Lions. Nice little plus 155 on that one. And then Derrick Henry. In one of the games that means the most on Sunday, Sunday Night Football, we get the Ravens versus the Steelers in a win or go home matchup because the AFC North was dog shit this year. They probably would have been better, too, if the Browns just started Shador earlier in the season, because it's pretty evident now that he's the best quarterback on that team, as much as I get a little annoyed, I guess you could say, with all the people that love him. But I also get annoyed with his just haters for no reason as well. It's just crazy how much turbulence is around that one player. But if they started him and if Joe Burrow didn't get hurt and Aaron Rodgers is playing phenomenal this year, but they got a lot of issues like DK Metcalf swinging at fans. And then Baltimore, obviously, with Lamar down for most of the season, and they're not playing to form. And now we get blessed, though, because now we get a game where it's win or go home. Baltimore versus the Pittsburgh Steelers should be a great, great matchup. We'll see what happens, but I think Derrick Henry's going to find his way into the end zone. TJ Watt is back, but I don't think it's going to matter. Derrick Henry, give me him for an anytime touchdown here. Now, we love all 6 of them. Do all 6 hit? I hope so. 6 is hard. We all know that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. So go lower unit size on this one. Don't be an idiot and put thousands of dollars or whatever the case may be on this play. It is a 6-man. Nice little sprinkle, whatever you can afford, and then lock in pair them up, do whatever you want to do. But these are my 6 favorite players in games that kind of matter or do fully matter to get into the end zone on Sunday. Now, before we get further on into the video, I do want to show you guys exactly where you can lock these plays in for free. We'll do it real quick. Won't spend too much time on it, and we'll break it down so you don't have to come out of pocket on Sunday. Now, here it is. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You go down below in my description. My buddy Stan's down there. He'll send you over to the Stan.store where you can get everything that you need for your sports betting career. Like up at that big golden W there, it says VIP picks, but there's a free plan. Also remember, with code ICE, because we've been ice cold on the videos, you get a free day of premium plays to lock in with us so that you can be profitable on the day for week 18 in the NFL. And then as you work your way down here into the welcome bonuses section, I'll briefly explain each one. Splash Sports, it's a phenomenal app. It has 50x payouts on 6-mans, which nobody does anymore. It's how it used to be, how it should be. They're the only one that does it because long-term, the sportsbook does end up losing money. But just imagine you lock in 6-mans on Prizepicks, it's 12.5x. You lock them in on Dabble, it's only 21x. You lock them in on Splash Sports, it's 50x, which means for those 6-mans that are harder to hit, inevitably harder to hit, you don't have to hit 1 out of 10. You can go 1 for 40, 1 for 45, 1 for 49 technically and still be profitable in that method and strategy. Use code BANANA over there in Splash Sports. You get a free 30 days and a $50 deposit match. Sleeper, one of the best promos, one of my favorite apps. You can knock down, alternate lines, all of that good stuff. You get free picks as well. Great promos every single day where they'll knock down a line and still give you the payout like it's not locked down. You get that free $20, $100 deposit match. All of that when you use code FFAPE. Code FTM Cox on Dabble. They did decrease it. So it's not $25 anymore. It's $10 now. But they do have some pretty good payouts. Not as good as Splash Sports anymore, but they used to be the best until Splash Sports came into the scene. But it's still a phenomenal app. We like to use it. We like to promote it. And then Prizepicks, bet 5, get 50. A lot of you guys probably already had it. It's one of the most popular DFS apps on the market. They do Taco Tuesdays. They do a ton of extra promos. And you can get $50 by betting just 5. And remember, all of these give you that free 30 days of premium plays. Now, Chalkboard, if you use code APE, this app is also phenomenal as well. It's like Sleeper. You can knock it down. Great promos and a $100 deposit match. I do believe they're also giving a free $10 or free $20 rather. So it's like the same as Sleeper. Free $20 and a $100 deposit match. Code APE, APE. Over on Chalkboard. Betr, free $10 plus a $200 deposit match. You guys can read. You see it all there. You sign up for those apps. Send me the screenshot where you do have to deposit to get the free 30 days. Send me the screenshot if you're using my code, making a deposit, and you get that free 30 days and everything that you see on the screen. And I honestly, it's going to sound like a sales pitch. Yes, they do pay me. If you don't want to use my code, you want me to go fuck myself, go on and just sign up regardless and get your deposit matches. Find a code, just Google one. I'm sure you can find one that way. Or if you want to support the channel, use mine. It's going to sound like a sales pitch, but this is probably the most important thing that you'll find anywhere on the internet or as far as sports betting goes. You got to go out and you got to get this money into your account from these apps so that you can build your bankroll up and don't have to really come out of pocket all that much. So take advantage, sign up for these apps, and get all of that free money that they're handing out. ONYX odds as well. We usually use those for the sportsbook play of the days. You get $15, and when you deposit 10, you get $100 in bonus bets. It's phenomenal as well. Great promo, and you can lock in those money lines, unders, overs, and all of that. So take advantage. Send me the proof. Real quick, we'll just run through fast. You can obviously Google it yourself, but if you want the knowledge right here, this is where playoff seeding and what games matter as far as what's going on Sunday. Now, we know the Broncos can clinch the AFC West and the #1 seed in the AFC with a win against the Chargers. And we also know that the Chargers are going to be sitting multiple starters. So I think that the Broncos will pretty much lock up that one slot, but it matters. So they will be playing their starters. Another team that is going to be playing their starters is the Patriots, because with a win and that Broncos loss, that probably won't happen. So they might be watching at halftime and pull some punches, is the Patriots, because when they win, they could get the #1 seed. They still got to win, though, because they want that #2 seed, because Jacksonville is on their tails as well. Now, it doesn't seem possible with 1 week left, but the Jaguars are still could end up in a top spot. They need some things to happen with the Patriots and the Broncos, but they're still fighting for it. I think they'll probably end up with the 3 seed, lots of moving pieces, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be playing their starters. We already know the Steelers are playing the Ravens, and they'll both be going full throttle for that spot into the playoffs. And the Houston Texans with a win can improve their seeding as well. So I expect them to fully go playing hard as they can against the Colts in that matchup. Should be a pretty easy victory there. But I think they go on and just take that game. And the Jaguars, I don't think they lose to the Titans. So I don't think much will be going on, but the Texans will be playing their starters as well as the Chargers. Although they do have a lot of moving pieces that could affect this, they will be resting their starters against the Broncos on Sunday. And if they lose, then they're either going to get a 6th or 7th seed, depending on what Buffalo does. Buffalo fighting for a better slot in the playoffs. I do think they probably win this game as well. I don't know if Josh Allen's starting. We're probably going to go ahead and stay away. I'll dive deeper for you guys over in premium. That's absolutely free. But Buffalo does have some things going on as well. And then the Ravens, they're alive. If they beat the Steelers, they are the 4 seed or out of the playoff if they lose. So we got a lot going on over there. Now, NFC, Seattle clinched the number 1 spot with that victory against the 49ers. The Chicago Bears will be playing against the Lions because they want to go ahead and get that 2 seed and host the Packers at home. That's going to be a phenomenal playoff matchup. Cannot wait to watch that one. And then the Eagles, they have already clinched the East. Don't think they're going to be caring too much. They're going to be resting their starters on Sunday, so nothing really crazy there. The Bucs, they did beat the Panthers on Saturday. Now they have to go ahead and worry about the Falcons because there's a crazy 3-way tie, and I believe it's if the Falcons win, then the Panthers are in. So it is a little bit fancy, and we'll see what happens there. I do think the Falcons probably pull away, but the Saints could play spoiler, so that should be a fun game to watch. Like I said, though, a lot of the Saints stars are out in that game. Now we got the San Francisco 49ers. They are already the 5 or 6 seed. They've already played. Nothing really to talk about there. The Rams, don't think they'll care too much about seeding wise. So we'll just keep on going. I wouldn't touch any of their players or anything like that in that matchup as well, because yes, they could clinch the 5th seed against the Arizona on Sunday, but if they lose, they're in the 6th seed. Not too much of a difference. Just, I guess, depends on who they want to play, whether it be the Eagles or the Panthers or the Bucs, whoever they get drawn out. So they might try a little bit. I think they are going to be starting their starters. I probably wouldn't do too much on them. I will dive deeper as the days go on. The Packers there, they've already clinched the number 7, so they'll probably benching their starters. And he's going to be resting a lot of their starters against the Vikings on Sunday, including Jordan Love. So tread carefully in that game. Still alive, the Panthers, we know that. So that's everything you need. You can obviously Google it if you wanted to skip this portion of the video. It's very, very confusing. Lots and lots of moving pieces. Just wanted to give you guys a little overlay, though. Hopefully that helped with anything that you wanted to lock in on your own so that you can have the most success that you possibly can on Sunday. Now, we're already 30 minutes in. Let's dive in. I'll try to go as fast as I can for these 5-man player props. It's a bit of a long shot. A lot of this data that I just read on the screen to you guys factors into these plays. Let's talk about them. I love this 5-man. The payout is phenomenal as well. Let's talk about it. So really, just for like the sake of time here, I'm not going to go and dive into outlier for you guys. I know you guys probably like those fancy green bars and it shows the defensive matchups. I've already done all of that research for you. And honestly, in week 18 on Sunday, the final week, the final day of the NFL slate in the regular season, a lot of that doesn't matter. What matters more is what these players are playing for. Now, we already know the Patriots have a lot to go with here. They want that top seed. They want the top 1 or 2 in this game. They're going to be playing. They're playing a bad Miami's team that isn't playing for anything. Could try to play spoiler just because it's a division foe. But Drake May has been phenomenal all season. His line set a little bit higher than this, but we're going to knock it down to 220. I love him in this matchup. Think he could honestly surpass 280 against the Dolphins. It all really just depends on how long they play, right? Because they'll probably still play all game, even with Denver, just because the Jags are on their tails. So I'm not too worried about that. But just in case, we knocked it down a little bit. I love Drake May. I think he's going to have a phenomenal career and a phenomenal Sunday. So we're taking him for 220, and we already know Hunter Henry's playing for some extra money, and I really do think that he's going to be one of Drake May's favorite targets on Sunday. We're taking him for just 4 receptions there. Now, this is where things get a little crazy. We actually, instead of knocking him down, we knock him up. So we're taking Tyler Shuck here, the Saints. This one might be the craziest line on here, so if you wanted to leave it out, go ahead. I love the odds, though. I love what we're getting if he gets it, and I just think that he could really do some miracle work, I guess you could say. He's done this in 3 straight games. He has, I have the data pulled up already. He has surpassed this line in 3 straight games against Carolina, the Jets, and the Titans. Now he's going up against the Falcons, who do rank 11th in passing yards allowed. They're a pretty good defense. I've said it in the past, and I'll say it again. They are a good defense. The last time that they played, Tyler Shuck did not hit this line. He got 243. So he was just under the 250 here, but we still like it, especially for the plus money that we're getting. I love Tyler Shuck in this matchup. He's gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on. I think they're going to try to play spoiler. I think that they're just playing for tape right now for next season, going forward, and for ego and for all that stuff, that the intangibles, right? The Falcons are coming out there. They're trying to knock somebody off. They're trying to get into the playoffs themselves. They're trying to work on some things there. I like Tyler Shuck in this matchup. I know Chris Olave's out, but this one, it's a little bit of a riskier play. If you wanted to leave it off, go on ahead. But we're taking Tyler Shuck for 250 passing yards. I think he could go well over that number. So we love him on Sunday in that one. And then another one, same game. We're taking Bijan Robinson. He crushed this line last week, getting 229. He's crushed this line 3 straight weeks. He is the epitome of the whole team. He is what the Falcons rely on week in and week out. And he's done this really in 5 straight almost, except for that tough Seattle defense that held him to just 94 yards, which is saying something because he is that good of a player. He had 193 against the Jets, 175 against Tampa Bay, 168 against Arizona, 229 against the Rams. Now he's going up against the New Orleans Saints, who I do believe are going to be trying to play spoiler. The Falcons are going to be trying to win this game, and they rank 23rd in the NFL in rushing yards allowed, 4th in receiving yards allowed against the running back. So that one is a little bit contingent on how well they do at guarding him out of the backfield, but I really think that he's just going to have a monster game once again. I like him for a 170 to 180. We're taking him for 150 here. We get nice plus money on that line straight up. Now, in his last matchup this season, he only got 107. He hasn't passed this number against the Saints in 3 showings now. He got 74 back in September of 2024. November of 2024, he got 144, and he got 107 back in November. I think he's going to get a little bit of vengeance in this game. They're playing for a lot in this game. I like Bijan Robinson to get 150 plus rushing and receiving yards. I think he could honestly get about 180 to 170 in this matchup. And then RJ Harvey. We knocked it down a little bit. We know the Chargers aren't going to be playing their starters. The Broncos are trying to win this game. I think he gets some garbage time carries. I think he ends up with about 70 to 80 yards in this matchup. We're taking him for 50 here. We're smashing all of these together. Now, I do know that that 250 and 150 is a bit of a risk, but this is what we're playing for on Sunday. We're going to war on Sunday the way that we can, because we're not on the field. This is how we do that. And I love this play. I think it's perfectly crafted. It is a little bit risky. That's inherent, but that plus 1634 payout is phenomenal. We absolutely love it. So we're going to roll this one out. It's risky, like I said, so don't go crazy with your unit size here, but it's fully worth it. I threw $100 on this play. I'm a $1,000 better. So I did limit my unit size on this one. And let me pull it up really fast just so I can give you the payout. I know this video is a little bit less professional than what you're used to, but there's just so much data, so much insight that's going into this. So $100 does pay about what is it? $1,720. $100 pays $1,700. So if you put like $10 on this play, you're getting over $170. That's awesome. awesome for the value here. We love what we've built, and we hope you do too. So that is the 5-man in the video. Remember, get all the premium plays for free with code ICE. Now let's go over to the sports books. Let's see what I cooked up where you could win $400 just for liking the video and commenting below. Now, with 200 likes on this video, one of you will get $403 when if this play hits. I love everything that we've put on the screen. I think these teams have a lot to play for. I think they're going to be balling out. They want to get a better seeding. So this is what we're rolling out. It's definitely risky. It's a 5-team thing. I think all of this should happen. We don't know if it will happen. That's why it's gambling. These are actually gambling. A lot of what we do in premium is investing. That's what I like to call it, because we're investing in ourselves. This is an actual gambling play, this 5-leg. It's a risky one, plus 403, but we still absolutely love it. The Chargers, we've said it 100 times in this video, are benching their starters. So we're going to take the Broncos, who like to keep it close no matter what team they play, but I still like them to win by a touchdown here, minus 6.5. The top line, we're taking the Atlanta Falcons. I don't mind that minus 3.5, but I think Tyler Shuck and the boys might try to play spoiler and get pretty close. So we're not touching that plus 3.5, especially after what happened to us with the Buccaneers in that game on Saturday, where they won by 2 with that blocked field goal. We don't want any nonsense to happen, so we're just taking the Falcons on the money line there. And then we got the Houston Texans. I think they're probably going to win by a much, much more than this. The spread in this game, I do believe it, yes, is 10.5. We're knocking it down a little bit. I like them to win by a touchdown against the Indianapolis Colts. And then the Baltimore Ravens in a game where it's win or go home for Sunday night football. I think they win. I think they get it done. I don't think Lamar's on the field, but I don't think it'll matter. I just think it's inevitable. And we like them in this matchup. So we're taking them plus 4.5. I do think that they probably cover that minus 3.5. Rodgers hasn't been playing well, but the offense on that team is super, super banged up, or they're swinging at their fans, so they're not on the field. We're taking the Ravens plus 4.5 just in case something crazy happens as well. We don't want to get stuck with them winning by or losing by 4 or anything, any kind of nonsense. So we're just going with a weird number there, plus 4.5. And then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars to win by a touchdown against the Tennessee Titans, who I can't even call the worst team in the NFL anymore, because my very own New York Giants are the worst team in the NFL. That's what we've built. It's beautiful. You can lock it in for free over on ONYX odds. You get a free $15. You get that $100 in bonus bets with that $10 deposit. So take advantage there. That's all I have for you guys. Lots and lots and lots of knowledge. This video was definitely a little bit less professional than most that I've dropped, but there was just so much going on. We had to get it all out for you guys so you can have the most successful Sunday possible. And we're going to go forward. We're going to sharpen our iron, and we're going to go on the offensive here against the sports books on Sunday in a week 18 that is bound to be a little bit wild. So let's go. Let's win some bets. Let's have a good day. And I hope you win all your bets. Hopefully you found this video and took some nuggets of truth, some insight, some knowledge out of this, even if you don't like the plays. Hopefully in the explanations of things, you found some plays that you do like and all of that good stuff. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Sorry we've been cold this week. We will get on the right path. The playoffs are here. College basketball is here. We have the NBA. We're doing great in premium. I'll try to get that over onto the screen for you guys. Bad week. One of the worst weeks we've had on the channel as far as wins and losses go. We have been cashing some sportsbook plays of the day, but the player props have not been hitting at a rate that we are used to. So for that, you get all of this in the video. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll see you in the next one. We got a Monday night slate. Who is playing Monday night? I don't think the NFL has a game on Monday night. They do not, but we'll have some NBA, some college basketball. We'll find some stuff to talk about in the video for Monday. Thank you guys so much for your time, your support, and as always, let's make some money.